Hello friends, welcome to this video lecture. Today's topic of discussion is theories of leadership. By the way, I'm Dr. Ahmedullah, Assistant Professor of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Government College of Engineering, Srirangam. There are a number of theories talks about various characteristics of leadership. The leadership theories ranging from great man theory, triad theory, behavior theory, participative leadership, situational leadership, contingency theory, transactional theory, and transformational theory. The first theory is great man theory. According to this theory, the leaders may be born or may arise as and when the situation required. The assumptions: great leaders are born possessing certain traits that enable them to rise and lead. The second assumption is great leaders can arise when the need for them is great. These people are often from the aristocracy family, that is a royal family. There should be some lineage. As few from lower classes had the opportunity to lead. Some of them maybe evolve or arise as and when the need arises. This contributed to the notion that leadership has something to do with breeding. The idea of great men also strayed into the mythic domain with the notions that in times of need a great man would arise almost by magic. Like the president of app, Arvind Kejriwal, like there may be a number of people may come out of the environment. Some of the examples are Churchill, Winston Churchill, Jesus, Moses, Prophet Muhammad, Mahatma Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, Alexander the Great, and Queen Elizabeth. Some of them are inborn characteristics, some of them have got the traits learned from the environment. They arise as and when the situation demanded. The second theory is traits theory. The assumption here is the people are born with inherited traits. So the traits are inherited from the forefathers or the elders. The people who make good leaders have the right combination of traits. Here the people will have the very good combination of traits or the characteristics. The description, based on this theory, people have the inherited characteristics. The theory focuses on the leader and the trait he exhibits. Attention was thus put on discovering these traits, often by studying successful leaders. If people could also be found with these traits, then they too could also become great leaders. There are some of the intellectual traits. There are certain traits by which leader could succeed. Emotional stability and composure, admitting error, that is taking responsibility for any problem arises in the industry or the organization. The good interpersonal skill, that is a people skill. Then intellectual breadth, intelligence, assertiveness, sometimes self-confident, trustworthiness, flexible. These are some of the traits. Based on these traits, the leaders will evolve. The third theory is behavioral theory. Instead of traits, this theory talks about behavior. Leaders can be made rather than born. This is just opposite to the traits theory. Successful leaders is based on definable and learnable behavior. The description. The leadership do not seek inborn traits or capabilities, rather they look at what leaders actually do. The best predictor of leadership success is viewing how a leader acts. Action rather than qualities are the focal point of behavioral learning theory. This theory talks about leaders can be trained, the traits can be taught or developed. This is not inborn potential or the characteristics or the traits are by virtue. If success can be defined in terms of descriptive actions, then it should be relatively easy for others people to act in the same way. This is easier to teach and learn than to adopt. The fourth leadership theory is participative theory. Participative leadership theory. The very basic assumptions are involvement in decision making improves the understanding of the issues involved by those who must carry out the decisions. Here, the other assumption is people are less competitive and more collaborative when they are working on joint goals. When people make decisions together, the social commitment to one another is great and thus increases the commitment to the decision. Here, several people deciding together to make better decisions than one person alone. So, since it is a democratic kind of leadership, here everybody will contribute to the success of the organization. What is the description? A participative leader, rather than taking autocratic decisions, seek to involve other people in the process, possibly including subordinate, peers, supervisor, and other stakeholders related to the activity. The next theory is situational leadership. The assumption is the best action of the leader depends on the range of situational factors. Here, the leader may not take only one decision or may not function based on only one style of leadership. He may not he may not exercise only one type of leadership style. When decision is needed, an effective leader does not just fall into a single preferred style. Factors that affect situational decisions include motivation and capability of the followers. The relationship between followers and the leaders may be another factor that affects leaders' behavior as much as it does followers' behavior. The leader's perception of the followers and the situation will affect what they do rather than the truth of the situation. The leader's perception of themselves and other factors such as stress and mood will also modify the leader's behavior. Here, according to the situation, the leader will take decisions. There will not be a similar kind of solution for all different kinds of problem. The next one is contingency theory. Here, the leader's ability to lead is contingent, that is, depending upon the situation. Upon various situational factors, leaders show different styles of leadership, including the leader's preferred style. According to this theory, an individual can be an effective leader in one circumstances and he may be ineffective leader in another one. The description. There is no one best way of leading, and that a leadership style is effective in some situation may not be successful in others. The contingency theory is similar to situational theory in that there is an assumption of no simple one right way. The main difference is that situational theory tends to focus more on behaviors that the leader should adopt given situational factors, whereas the contingency theory leaders takes a broader view that includes contingent factors about leaders' capability and other variables within the situations. That's the main difference between contingency theory and situational theory. The next theory is transactional leadership. The assumptions are the people are motivated by reward and punishment. The social system works best with a clear chain of command. The prime purpose of subordinate is to do what their manager tells to them to do. The transactional leader works through creating clear structure. There will be some standard structure like manager, deputy manager, foreman, the worker. Like there is a clear cut structure will be there. The worker or the foreman is recruited for certain set of duties. The early stage of transactional leadership is in negotiating the contract whereby the subordinate is given a salary and other benefits and the company gets authority over the subordinate. Since the workers or the subordinate get salary, so the company has the ability to extract the work from the subordinate. When the transactional leader allocates work to subordinate, they are considered to be fully responsible for it, whether or not they have the resources or capability to carry it out. When things go wrong, then the subordinate is considered to be the fully at fault and he may get punished for the failure. So it is the duty of the subordinate to carry out the work in appropriate way. Otherwise, he may be get punishment, maybe a reduction of salary, maybe as punishment like termination or sometimes suspension from the duty. So this is like a structured organization. The next theory of leadership is transformational leadership style. Here, people will follow a person who inspires them. A person with vision and passion can achieve great things. The way to get things done is by injecting enthusiasm and energy. The leader will inject enthusiasm and energy in the group. Therefore, the people will inspire the leader, take inspiration from the leadership and work towards the betterment of the organization. The leader will be a charismatic leader. The transformational leaders are often charismatic. They put passion and energy in everything. They care about the employee or the subordinates and work for their success. Working for a transformation leader can be a wonderful and uplifting experience because the leader is a passionate and motivating leader. What are the main difference between transactional leadership and transformational leadership? The transactional leadership is responsive leadership. If anything happens, positive or negative, the leadership will take decision. Whereas the transformational leadership is a proactive leadership. The transactional leadership work within the organizational culture, whereas the transformational leadership works to change the organizational culture in order to have a better environment. Employees achieve objectives through rewards and punishments set by the leader is transactional leadership. Here, employees achieve objectives through higher ideals and moral values. Here, the salary or rewards may not be criterion. The people are ideally molded, have very good moral values. In transactional leadership, motivates followers by appealing to their self-interest. This is like a carrot and horse kind of thing. Here, the transformational leadership motivates followers by encouraging them to put group interest first. The transactional leadership will try to maintain the status quo, whereas the transformational leadership, each behavior is directed to each individual to express consideration and support. In transactional leadership, the intellectual simulation or motivation is zero. In the transformational leadership, it promotes creative and innovative idea to solve problems. You should now realize, you should identify what kind of leadership style you can express. It can best describes you. Which leadership style best describes you? You just churn your ideas and think about yourself. That's all about this particular topic. We will see in the next set of topics. These are the references. Thank you for the patience listening. Thank you.